Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about American politics in the American King era, and that's Donald Trump. He is an American king, man. That dude, he just, let me stay focused. All right, we're in the American King era, and specifically we're going to talk about red and blue dollars at the box office, at the movie box office. This Thanksgiving weekend was a historically large number. Uh, it broke virtually every single box office record for, at minimum, for the Thanksgiving weekend. I think it may have broken box office records for any weekend. But here's the headline, right? There's tons of numbers that'll come out for this, but let's talk about this one. And this has never been done, ever, for a Thanksgiving weekend. Hollywood reported that 3 movies, Wicked, Gladiator, and the brand new Moana 2, the 3 of those films together sold 30 million tickets. 30 million tickets. That means that 1 out of 10 people in America went to see the movies this weekend. It blew the roof off of virtually every single cinematic record for the Thanksgiving weekend, and it may have broken records for any weekend. It is truly massively historic, okay? So it warrants talking about how and why. Okay, so first of all, trust and believe, right? So one, I voted for Donald Trump. I did not want to do it, but we desperately needed to fix America. America could not survive another 4 years of Democrats. Just simply couldn't do it, right? And right now, I think the reason why literally 30 million Americans said, hey, we're going to the movies this weekend, was they're like, hey, we can blow $17 a ticket. We can pay $15 a person for concessions because we know the world's about to get fixed, right? People have hope. They have confidence, and they literally have money, right? Because the market is responding to Donald Trump's win. Here's another one, right? Bitcoin hit $96,000 right after the election. And the reason, and what do you need for Bitcoin to be safe, right? You know what you need? You need confidence that nobody's going to be warming their hands over a fire barrel, right? And people just didn't have that. They were like, if Kamala Harris is president, we're all outside warming our hands over a barrel and maybe eating our neighbor, right? Like, nobody had confidence. Like, we came within a centimeter of all dying in World War III under 4 years of Biden. People were like, we cannot survive another 4 years of Democrat rule. And they were right? So I believe this 30 million tickets sold is people saying, hey, we can go treat ourselves, right? We all know America's about to get fixed, right? It's like stuff's gonna, eggs are gonna come down to a reasonable price. Young people will be able to buy houses, right? Like, America's gonna go back to being America. I did vote Trump once. I did not vote for him the first time, but I did vote for him on this one. And honestly, I get it. I get why people were upset and did not want to vote for him. But crime was just out of control. War was out of control. Inflation was out of control. You got to get a handle off that, or you're on your way out. And that's what Kamala found out. That's what Biden found out. Everybody was like, "Thank you, next." No more of that, right? But to me, this is an economic celebration of release, right? Like, we're released from the Democrats' incompetence, and I really political incompetence, okay? And I really believe that's what it is, because I do want to say, I truly believe the Democrats wanted to help the world, right? I don't think the Democrats set out to hurdle America into World War III. They just did it through their massive incompetence, right? And so, but I think they were well-meaning, and this is important, right? I honestly believe Donald Trump very much plans evil for this country. But his planned evil is far less dangerous than the Democrats' hoped for good, right? And you have to be competent. You have to be able to hold on to the reins of the horse, and that's I think that's what we saw, was that the Democrats were just flinging around on the back of the horse, right? So let's dig into this, right? So one thing that was truly incredible is Grace Randolph broke down the numbers. You know what she said? This shocked me, right? She said, how did Hollywood do it? How did they sell a record-breaking number of tickets this weekend? Well, one of it is demographics. So, one, if you're not on them, get on them. Okay, Peter Zeihan, he is the foremost global demographic. He is the foremost global demographic expert in the world, bar none. He knows more about demographics than anybody on the planet, right? But Grace broke down the demographics on how these tickets were bought. So get this, man, oh man. White people went to see Wicked. POC people went to see Moana, right? Watch her breakdown of movie math this week. She said it in a little more words, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit there. But I think if you watch it, you're going to see exactly what I just said is correct, right? And that's shocking. That is incredibly shocking. The movies were grouped in a way that they did not cannibalize each other's market, right? That's incredible, right? Now, it might just simply have been, actually, everybody complains about evil executives, right? A lot of times these studio execs know exactly what they're doing, right? These people have, degrees from Harvard and Yale for a reason, right? And so it was pretty incredible. And then also, if you weren't interested in seeing two female witches and the return of a powerful queen, then you could go see Gladiator 2, right? And so again, the box office was manufactured so that each movie was not eating its own audience, right? Each movie was not competing for the same people to buy the ticket, right? There were movies that I don't think for a minute that Wicked was made for white people. It just turned out that white people were more attracted to that film, and people of color were more attracted to the Moana 2 film, right? But it worked out for Hollywood, and they broke every single record. Now, one thing I think is interesting is there a way that we can achieve DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion in capitalist purchasing? This weekend looks like the answer is yes. That's incredible. That is truly incredible, right? And is there other areas where we can do this, where we can purchase as a nation? Because trust and believe, this is an extremely important weekend, right? So one, this was needed because the death of the cinema has been reported again and again and again and again and again. And it was being reported before COVID happened, right? I'm at the movies, and I want to tell you something, okay? I'm at the movies every week, and I have never stopped going in my entire life, right? I am a walking encyclopedia of cinema history, because there has never been in my entire life a 2-week span where I didn't see at least one movie, right? So I know American cinema, and I can tell you I never saw anything like this weekend, okay? Let me explain to you what happened. So I went to the movies, right? And this weekend, and I will tell you right now, for months, for 2 or 3 years, I've been going to the movies. I will go to the movies, and there will frequently be one person in the theater. One person in the theater. I could not even count on both my hands the number of times in the last 2 years that I have been in a theater alone, right? So when I tell you the movies were in trouble, they were in trouble, right? This last weekend, I roll up on a Saturday night, right? And not only is the parking lot full, the auxiliary parking lot was full, right? I went in, got my soda, got my snacks, got in my seat, right? to see Wicked for the second time, right? Now, I'm seeing this movie for the second time. Hour and 15 minutes of the movie goes through, and I'm like, oh, great. Hour and 15 minutes of the movie is done. I can go out and get a bunch more snacks, right? I can get a second round of snacks. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to treat myself, get some pretzel bites. I walk out. Every single line, 10 cashiers had lines 15 people long. I could not get snacks because there was a line in every single concession stand, and there were 10 of them open. I have never seen anything like this, right? People went to the movies, and it was a true American celebration of release from the tyranny of incompetence, tyranny of Democrat incompetence. It was an economic celebration, right? And I'm telling you, the world is changing. Real things are really happening, and I think the general arc is good. This is a good change, right? People realize that America is in a good spot and that we are headed in the right direction. And that's what the red and blue dollars spent at the movies this week means, in my humble opinion. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider subscribing and have a fetch millennium.